Well, myself and my family have had this wonderful Kenmore washer, dryer, laundry sender combo. We've had it about a week now, and we bought it from Sears, and so far we're pretty happy about it. But believe it or not, this isn't the dryer that we bought 3 months ago. I'll explain. Basically, back in March, myself and my family found a particular laundry sender model that we liked. It fit our dimensions, it was in our budget, and we thought it would be a perfect fit. And we did a smart consumer thing and look up reviews of it, and then of course the price. Well, Sears actually had the best deal on this with installation. So back in March, myself and my family purchased this washer and dryer. And for whatever reason, it was telling us that they couldn't deliver or install it till end of April, which we're like, well, it's kind of crappy, but we understand that deliveries and whatnot, things get kind of pushed back a bit. So we thought no big deal of it. So get to the end of April, and we get a phone call from Sears. It's an automated system of some sort, saying we're having issues with your delivery. Please give us a call back at this number. So I call them up, and come to find out, not only can they not deliver this washer dryer, but they don't even offer that model anymore. And to myself and my family's amazement, how can they take something that we bought in March and a month later tell us that it's not available, even though we paid for it the month before? So basically it goes back and forth for a while, and they're telling us that even though we offer an item online, that doesn't mean that Sears actually has it. And my argument with them was, well, if you don't have something that you're advertising online, you shouldn't be advertising it. That's actually bait and switch. So it goes back and forth for a long time, and at this point, we weren't even sure if we were even able to have a washer and dryer in the house, let alone our money back. So, needless to say, after speaking to some managers and whatnot over the phone, they told me, okay, well, listen, to compensate you, we're going to, since we don't offer that model that you paid for, what's the next model, basically, that you want? And the only thing they offered at the time, in April, was this other model that was a couple $100 more. So I'm like, alright, I want this other model for the same price that I paid for back in March for this other one. They said, no problem, we'll take care of you. I even have this in writing from a manager with their name and employee number. So basically, it took a while to get my money back from them. You would think it'd be just a simple process. Well, like, all right, we see that you paid. Well, we're going to apply it to this. No, apparently they had to refund me first, and then I had to basically pay for it then. They offered me to basically pay for this other one, and then they'll reimburse me my money from March. And I said, no, forget that. I've already given you $1,500. I'm not going to give you another $1,500. So basically, I come to get the deal of the more expensive model that they were going to give me a deal on, and believe it or not, folks, they decided to backpedal their way out of it. One manager I spoke to said, well, I can't give you this price without you paying the difference. And I told him, look, I paid you $1,500 plus back in March for a dryer washer that you don't make anymore. I'm not going to give you a couple more $100. And basically, that just goes nowhere. And I'm like, look, who's your supervisor above you, because this is ridiculous. Never get a call back or anything, so I just try it again later on the next day. And that person tells me, well, we can't really find this in our system, even though I'm looking right at it on my computer screen. I'm like, look, I know you have this model because I'm looking right at it. So, needless to say, it's now in May, and they now have this particular Kenmore washer-dryer combo. Very similar to the one we picked out in March. Not quite, but pretty close. And it was actually within price range of the money that we originally spent in March. So here we go again with Sears, this time to try door number 3 or model number 3. And surprisingly, it works out. I bought it and they were able to get it delivered and installed the next day. But here's the thing. The delivery guys come up and they seem really swell, nice guys. And they managed to get this washer and dryer in without banging anything or dropping anything, whacking my kitchen chandelier, nothing of that. They got it in here without a problem. I give them an A+ on that. But behind me here, the hookups, this is where they fudge things up. For starters, they didn't have things tightened up here in the faucet, so as we're doing laundry and whatnot, I noticed a puddle, and come to find out they didn't have these all tightened up all the way, so I had to, tighten everything up, take the spigot and tighten all those up, and then we get that all set, and then we go to dry our first load of laundry, and so we put it in a dryer here, and we start it up. And to me, it just didn't sound right. So I'm like feeling around the machine and I reach behind it and all I feel is exhaust. Pretty much gas exhaust seeping through the house, which is bad. So I totally turned it off and we wiggle the washer dryer out some so we can see what's going on. These guys, they didn't even fasten the dryer exhaust hose to the dryer. No fasten whatsoever. Even though I provided them with the tools, the gas line, and all the rest of that, they didn't use them. They used basically the bare minimum and left. So basically, I had to reinstall the washer and dryer that I basically paid Sears to install for me. So needless to say, it's now March. My family and I have been enjoying our third washer here, or the third model we picked out from Sears, and by all means, we're never ever going to shop at Sears again. And if you're listening to me and watching my video here, I recommend you do the same. I have plenty of documentation proving all this. I would show you online, but that's a heck of a lot of personal information, and to be honest, that'd be kind of dumb of me. But it's just appalling what they did. If there's a problem, you should rectify it immediately or as soon as possible, not 3 months later. And then make promises and then break those promises all at the same time. And if a customer gives you $1,500, they better darn well get their money back immediately or a substitute product first thing. Because that's a heck of a lot of money, and America here doesn't have a whole heck of a lot of it. So, anyways, my review with Sears, if this was a grading system like in school, I would say not only is it an E, but they have to go back a few grades. The only part they did well in is actually getting the machine in the house without banging it or dropping it or breaking anything else in my house. Everything else they totally flunked on. And again, myself and my family will never shop at Sears again. I appreciate your time watching this review. I hope you find my story interesting. And please feel free to shoot me messages or comments or questions. Thanks and Godspeed.